go first. So
wait, let me get my
I'll wait till
timer.
it actually says recording, so we're not like half recording.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let me.
Yes, I'm ready. Okay, so
I'm pulling up my timer. Let's see.
Stopwatch.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Set. Go.
2 years ago, I found myself working overtime, double time for somebody else's dreams. And I was in school, planning my wedding, working at a grocery store and bartending. And so you can imagine that free time wasn't really on the schedule, but I had a girl hit me up about trying some products, and I realized that I couldn't even afford $40 a month for some hair, skin, nails. And that was such a huge wake-up call to me that I was busting my butt every single day working for other people, and I couldn't even afford to grow out my hair for my own wedding, which, by the way, we had a budget of $0 for our wedding, which is the worst. And so I didn't really think about it too much. I'm glad I didn't think about it too much. I had never done anything like this before. I probably would have talked myself out of it, but 3 days later, I had put my business builder kit on a maxed out credit card, and I messaged every single person on my Facebook, every single person in my phone, which was not that many at the time, but I got my first 4 customers in my first 72 hours, got that. It was 120 product credit, and put on my first wrap, decided that that was it, that this is what I wanted to do. I caught the vision. 2 years later, here I am, 4 promotions, $15,000 in bonuses. Just got invited to our private cocktail reception as a top 100 point earner for conference this year. And I am just beyond grateful that I didn't listen when none of my friends and family supported me. I didn't stop when I only had 36 people to message on Instagram my first week. I didn't get discouraged when half of my team quit in 2016. I just decided that I was made for more and that I was worth more. And I looked at my husband every single day, love of my life, my high school sweetheart, my best friend, and I'm not going to let him slave 9 to 5 his entire life instead of doing what he wants to do and what we want to do. So this company isn't just an income, it is a life-changing opportunity. So that's kind of my story. But if I was on the phone with the potential, I would probably end it with like, so that's a little bit about me and why this business means a lot to me. What would an extra income do for you?
That was so good. You had 45 seconds left, so you nailed it, you guys. Was that not like what I loved about it was you got the point across of why you started. You talked about what you've done without bragging, and it was short, simple, sweet, but it had so much like emotion and talking about your wedding. That was so good. Okay. All right, I'm going to try it in 3 minutes. It's going to be really hard.
Oh, Michelle just told me my makeup's on point. Thank you.
Oh, it
Tiffany,
is. I know
sign
you're
me up
right.
now. Thanks. Okay.
All right, you're going to.
Ready? Right. Okay.
Guys, this is like, all right, now I'm like sweating. Okay. Okay, ready, set, go. So my name is Alli Fraser. I'm a double diamond with It Works Global. I was born and raised in a small town in Massachusetts. The day I turned 18, I decided I wanted out. I got accepted to my number 1 college, my number 1 choice college, Texas A&M, and I was super excited. It's probably the proudest I'd ever seen my mom when I got my acceptance letter. And 2 years into college, I was failing out. I was partying and drinking and not going to class and clubbing. And I mean, I was just doing the college kid thing without college kid, without going to class or, so I failed out of school. And one of the most embarrassing and lowest points in my life was when my mom told me you need to come home. And I had made this life for myself in Texas, and all my friends thought I was this greatest thing because I moved away and Alli was killing it and Alli's living her dream. And, I had to turn around and tail tucked between my legs, came back home to my mom. And so I moved back in with my mom. My mom had since moved to South Carolina. So I moved here. I knew nobody. I did not know a soul. I was sitting and I was tired of sitting at home with my mom and dad every night at 20 years old. I was like, all right, I need to make friends or something. So I joined a dating app and met Matt. We have been together for 4 years coming in January. And so very quickly, he was living with his parents. I was living with my parents. And he decided he wanted to get a house. And I was like, yes, I'm so down to play house. Like, I'm like a house. Like, I was born to be a housewife. Like, I'm pumped. And 2 months into owning the house, we quickly realized that we could not afford a house. We couldn't afford groceries. We couldn't afford laundry detergent. We couldn't afford our dog's vet bills. We couldn't afford anything. And he was working 60 hours a week, 12-hour shifts at a machine shop. I was working at Subway. And then I was also ended up switching to be a secretary. And so when my horse passed away, I asked for 2 days off so that I could mourn the loss of my best friend. And they told me, no, thank you. I'm sorry, you're going to have to come in. And it was in that moment that I was like, no one will tell me when and where I can mourn my horse of 12 years passing away. So I quit that job. I took my last $130 from that job and invested it into this business completely on a whim. And I've been with the business for 2 years. I've earned $43,000 worth of bonuses. I've been on a free cruise to the Bahamas. Me and my boyfriend were able to purchase 20 acres of land in cash. That was about 3 months after I brought our house out of foreclosure because of this business. We have a brand new car, and we're looking at retiring him right now, along with retiring my mom. So that's what It Works has done for me. And that's kind of why I started and where I came from. So
on point.
Yes. Woo!
Literally 2:57:58.
Good.
Love it.
Nailed it.
Awesome. I just love, I don't know. There's just something about your story, Alli, being like a millennial, being somebody that's our age, like early 20s. And there is all of this pressure to graduate high school, go to college, graduate college, get a job. And that hasn't been my path either. I've been at community college for 5 years. I'm finally graduating with literally just my associates this semester. And it's just I think that it just touches so many people our age to hear wow, she couldn't do the normal college thing either. That's how I'm feeling. So I think that was great. So that, I mean, you guys just heard it. You guys heard exactly how we would say it to a potential, the amount of time it would take to say it to a potential. And then you can see all of the different pieces that we're pulling out of those stories to write our life posts every day. When we sit down to write a life post, we can write about, Alli can write about working, or she can write about going to college, or she can write about, her house being in foreclosure. She can write about, her helping her mom make an income. All of these little things that she can pull from her story can be a separate post every single day. And that's kind of just how we want to just move into the training part of this is we want to kind of go through the process of what does it take to get someone to watch you, to respond or reach out to you, to continue the conversation with them, and then to get them to seal the deal. So obviously that very first thing is basically what me and Alli just did, which is you need to be sharing your story. Your life posts are not something that can be copied and pasted. And I want to make it very, very clear that a life post is not a business post. Saying now hiring 3 girls who want to work from their phone is not a life post. They're great posts. You can totally use them to get leads, but sharing your story and your truth about where you were 5 years ago, a year ago, right before you started, where you are sitting right now, and where you are going to go is so powerful, because you are showing them this timeline of your life going in an upswing. And when you inspire, there are so many people and their life story looks like this. And then it was the worst. You are writing your own life story concurrently while you are showing people the direction that you're heading in. And I will tell you right now, if your potentials don't think you're going up, they're not going to be your potentials for you, right? If they don't think that this is where you're heading, and they know that you've got goals and that you are working hard and that you are dedicated to this, it's not going to be something that's going to pull them in. So I don't know if you want to.
Well, that's one of the biggest things that I've learned doing personal development and listening to podcasts, because when I listen to podcasts, I like to listen to network marketing podcasts, because it's not just It Works podcasts. It's not just it's when they usually, some of them are, broad. And one of the things that has stuck with me really lately about from this podcast was that the people at the top of these companies just learn to tell their story better than you have. It is the truth, you guys. I was thinking about this today as I was, like kind of brainstorming important things that I wanted to share with you guys. And one of them is that I'll never forget, like I'm getting goosebumps every single time Jade tells the story of putting a sheet up in her doorway so that she could keep the heat in.
Christmas, in their little apartment when Levi
I can picture it. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm like, and it is that even though, it is, even though I know Jade, even though I know what Jade's done, even though I know that Jade's at Mark's ranch right now, when I think of Jade, I think of, look at that girl who, 4 years ago was hanging a sheet up trying to keep heat in her living room with her newborn baby, and look at what she's doing now. And you guys have to understand that if you plan on being ambassador, and every single one of you guys plan on being ambassador, then you need to start telling your story now, so that when you go ambassador, because there are going to be people that wait for you to go ambassador before they sign up. And it's going to be those people that say, dang, I remember when Alli was talking about not being able to afford laundry detergent, and now she just went and paid off $10,000 worth of, people's Toys R Us Christmas lists, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to everything.
I want to just answer, we can't answer all of these questions, guys, because there's a ton of them, but somebody was just saying, so how do you explain your life post without lying? Like, say, for example, you haven't promoted it all, so how do you still explain your life story when you feel stuck? And kind of just like what I want to like give to you guys, and I'm going to try to do this in a not red way. I'm going to try to connect with you guys on a more heartfelt level. If you are stuck in this business, it is because of your mindset. So if you have been doing this for a very, very long time, or 6 months or a year or whatever, and you feel like you are stuck, there is something that is not connecting in your mind. And as soon as it connects in your mind, that you don't have to be stuck, that you don't have to still be struggling, that you can promote, then your life posts are just going to flow out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? When you decide, like, if you're sitting here saying, I'm stuck, I can't write a life post, that's not something that I can necessarily help you with, because there's a reason that you're feeling stuck, and you gotta work through that, because telling your past, that's the emotional part, right? Like, telling where you were or where you still are. I have a girl on my team named Tyliza, and Alli knows her, and she wrote this post one day with her refrigerator was empty except for a gallon of milk, and it was like in real time she was like, this is my refrigerator right now. I refuse to live this life for my kids anymore, and it brought me to tears. So if you are broke, if you are struggling, if you are feeling like, oh my gosh, how can I write about accomplishing things when I'm not, don't write about accomplishing things. Write about where you are right now, because that is what is going to connect with other people who are in the exact same situation that you are.
Yeah, right, nobody cares that I made $43,000 worth of bonuses. All they did was like, oh yeah, that's so great, congrats on my Facebook status. You guys are like tripping if you think that people care that I have earned that much in bonuses, because they're like, well, good for you, Alli, but yeah, I'm like scraping up change for the dollar menu. You guys, honestly, if you haven't made a lot of money right now, you are kind of have like a leg up, or like a hand, like you guys are in a better place, because you guys can be like, look it, I don't have anything right now. Like, and that's, you guys, that's why I signed up. I had nothing to lose. I had nothing. We were about to they were going to take our house. They were going to take our car. They were going to take everything that we had, because we couldn't pay our bills. So like, that's what you have to understand, is that like, you don't really, this is how I looked at it. I don't really have the choice to like be picky about what I post on Facebook right now. Like, I don't like, and I know it's hard. And I know that you guys have been through things that are traumatic, or have taken years of therapy to, learn to cope with. I'm not saying that you have to, every time you write a life post, you want to throw up and you start hyperventilating, but and this is me being completely honest. If you are not willing to step out of your comfort zone, and this is 100% honest, you guys, if you're not willing to step out of your comfort zone and open yourself up so that people can connect to you, I'm going to sign up your potential distributors. And I'm not saying I'm going to go to your page and sign them up. I'm saying they're going to follow, because you're not the only, I promise you, you're not the only distributor on their timeline. You aren't. They probably have 5 other people selling It Works. And the truth of the matter is, it's kind of like a dog eat dog thing. Who's going to tell their story better? Who's going to get over themselves and get out of their own way and open up about the times where you fed your dog ramen noodles? You know how hard it was for me, for someone who loves her dogs and is a dog mom and is in rescue, to admit that there were days that these dogs that I love so much were eating ramen? Was that easy? Hell no. But do you know how many people came in my inbox the next day and was like, girl, I need what you're doing because my kids ate Doritos for dinner last night.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to open up like that, and I am, they're going to connect with me first, and they're going to sound, and that I truly believe that is why people become mass distributor enrollers, is because everyone sees like, wow, she's opening up. Wow, she's talking about her goals. Wow, she's doing all these things that me and Hope are about to tell you about, about to tell you. And they want to join with us because they're like, 1, she knows what it's like to struggle. 2, she has a go get it attitude. And 3, she's fighting for her family right now. Who wouldn't want to join someone that has those 3 things?
Well, and I'm just going to throw it out there real quick. Get over yourself. Get over whatever pride is holding you back from talking about the situations that make you vulnerable. Like, that was literally the key that clicked in my brain. And I'm going to say this before we go any further in this training. My first year with It Works, I think I signed like 10 distributors the entire year, because I told myself, I don't have a Jade story. I don't have kids. I don't have dogs. I don't really have that. And so I'm just not very good at signing distributors. And then December 31st of 2016, I sat myself down and I was like, you need to be a mass enroller because you need to be Diamond. So you need to get over yourself and you will be a mass enroller. And it literally, I signed 10 distributors the next month. It was like insane. So, and then real quick, Tracy R., you just wrote a life post.
Oh my gosh.
You just wrote a life post. You said life's posts are hard for you, but you just wrote me one. You want to retire your husband because he's been working his ass off forever and he's tired, and you don't want to watch him do it anymore.
So good.
That's a life post right there. You just did it. You just did it. So I think you guys get the point. If you need help with your specific life post, go to your specific enroller and talk to them about your story. I can't sit here and tell all 225 of you how to write a life post because I don't know your life. So if you need help opening up and figuring out the right way to spin things in your personal life, go to your enroller and talk to them about your story and tell them that you want to improve.
Hope, while you pull up the point that we're about to talk about next, because I know you got a list, I'm going to say, you guys, one of the biggest things that really helped me in the beginning to start like really feeling like I'm getting good quality life posts are 2 things. When I would write my life post and then I would read it and I would think, if I was reading this 4 years ago, how would it make me feel? Because 4 years ago, I needed to read some of the posts that I'm writing myself. I needed someone to tell me the things that I tell my followers. So I always ask myself that. And number 2 is that I look at my Facebook like my diary. That's how, I mean, I'm not going to go on there and talk about like, things that are, not PG-13. But other than that, if I'm having a bad day because I slipped and fell in my dog's throw up, Facebook's going to know about it. All right. If I'm having a great day because I just, got shouted out by the field regional developer, I'm going to tell Facebook about it, you guys. And so that's what you have to think about, is that use Facebook like a diary. Stop trying to throw out these short, join my team, $99. It's going to be so much fun. We'll earn a shopping spree together. Get funny. There's some sarcasm in there. Let them know who you are. Like, let them know like what makes you laugh, what makes you happy. So go ahead, Hope.
100%.
Tell us.
So you have been posting these killer life posts, and people know who you are, and they know why you joined and why you're still working and where you're going. So when you message them, they respond and they say, you know what? I've actually been watching you, and I want to know more about what it is that you do. So what do you do with that? I see so many people that are like, oh my God, I just responded. How do I? It's like, take a deep breath. We're going to walk you through like basically our conversation right now. So Basically what I would say is, dude, of course, yes, I would love to tell you what I do. What's your phone number? I'm going to text you. Get them in your phone. Put PDT at the end. Real simple. And then you're going to move right into these 3 questions. And I know that Alli did like a whole video on them in Legendary Diamonds already. So you don't need to go like super in depth to all 3 of them, Alli, but just kind of give us an overview of just kind of like the 1, 2, 3 of the very first conversation that you have with a potential distributor, what the flow of that.
Yeah, no, totally. Actually, I can read.
Let's say, yeah, you wanna pull one up?
Yeah, I have a good one. Of course, it's like follow-up Friday, so like, you know what I mean. Okay.
Right.
My inbox is like, okay, so this girl texted me first, okay? My post was obviously killer because she texted me first, and she said, hey, I was wondering about your business opportunity. How do you make money using social media? It sounds very promising and I'm interested. And I said, hi, friend, I'm Alli. I'd love to give you more info. What's your name? I asked her what her name was so I could save it in my phone. She said, awesome, I'm Savannah. And I said, and you're 18 years old, 18 plus, right? I just have to ask. Because I'm not going to spend the next 2 hours talking to her if she's like 14. Like, you never know with people that text you first. Actually, you never know on Instagram to begin with nowadays. So, she said, yeah. And I said, so this is the first question. So do you know anything about network marketing? Oh, this one's crazy. She said, not really. My sister Sierra, her Instagram name is blank, blank, blank. She's been promoting a weight loss thing called Thrive. And I've seen how she works with it. And she's made a good bit off of the marketing and gained a pretty large following. Y'all, I creeped her sister's Instagram. Her sister has like 109,000 followers. Like, she's at like the top of Thrive, and her sister's texting me about joining at work. So like, I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but I'm going to pat myself on the back. So I said, so that's what she said. I've always been interested, but haven't gotten around to it now. I said, it's an amazing way to make money on your own schedule. And our team is known for being one of the fastest growing social media teams. I've been with the company for 2 years last month, and my life has literally changed forever. Our house was in foreclosure. There were nights we were feeding the dogs ramen because we couldn't get dog food until we got paid. And I started because I literally had nothing to lose at that point, and I'm on my phone anyways. So I signed up and tried the wraps that came in my kit, and I was literally so blown away with my results that I knew I had my hands on something that everyone would want. I mean, because of social media, I have customers all over Australia, the United Kingdom, Ireland. I mean, I make a full-time income, $6,000 a month on top of $43,000 in cash bonuses. You guys may not be able to say that, but I do because I can, which allows me to be a stay-at-home dog mom for making friends on social media and sharing products I use every day. It's by no means a get-rich-quick scheme where you sign up and become a millionaire overnight, but I consider myself a professional in this career, and I've learned to build a successful business from my phone. So, and then I say, so I'm an independent distributor, blah, 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 like, you know, that script that we all have. But do you see how I added in the front? So then she says, it sounds like a pretty simple process. Now, do you choose what products, or can you decide between the skincare or the weight loss ones? So I explained, you know, my best sellers are the ones I use, like hair, skin, and nails, or the skinny wraps. So I mainly promote what I use. And then this is the second question. Everybody write this in your notes. What would an extra $800 a month do for you and your family? Here you go, you guys. I understand that Ruby is a $500 income, but that like literally sounds like a Price is Right commercial. Like, win $500 from social media. Like, oh. And I do it. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying that, like, when I'm talking to someone and I'm like telling them my story and I'm being personal with them, I bump it up to $800 because who wouldn't want to be an Emerald? You know what I mean? So, this is what she says. Those definitely sound like the ones I'd use too. And you guys, this is crazy. She opens up to me and says, it actually helped me out a lot. My boyfriend and I were starting college this year, and he recently just passed away. So I enrolled in college. I'd prefer to go to a different one now. The same one I go to is just too hard. Although classes had just started, they're charging me for some of them because I didn't attend after my boyfriend passed away, and I really need to pay those off. I've been getting fewer and fewer hours at my job because of the lack of business in the small town I live in, so bills seem impossible. And I said, I'm so sorry to hear about your boyfriend. That's so sad. I can't imagine. Working money is probably the last thing on your mind right now. So this sounds like it would be perfect. You guys, take notes about this. This is not something you have to devote your whole life to, but there is a difference between making $50 because this is a hobby and making $5,000 because you're hell-bent to make a difference in your situation. I started this business working 50 hours a week, going to school full-time with 12 credits, volunteering with the rescue I work with every weekend, building a barn on my parents' land, so I know what it's like to have more month than money. And I was like, I was working as much as I possibly could with school, and that just wasn't how I wanted to live anymore. So what I do is easy. I post about the products 2 to 3 times a day. I follow and make new friends on social media. I talk to people who are interested, and I follow up with people that give me a date. Do you think logically you could fit this into your schedule? And then she said, well, you're definitely good at your job. I've been wanting a dog terribly, and being a stay-at-home dog mom sounds like you live the life. You've got me convinced. I could definitely fit those into my daily schedule. Should we use Facebook and Instagram? You guys, so we go on. She's already started adding people on. Mind you, her sister's at the top of Thrive. And I don't know what kind of relationship they have, but to me, I would think that if her sister was, you know what I mean? Like, and so I put my heart into these messages. It wasn't just scripted and send him off and I don't care. Her boyfriend passed away. I'm going to be sympathetic and I'm going to tell her, like, listen, I don't know what it's like to have my boyfriend pass away, but when my horse passed away, that was the last thing I was thinking about was making money. So, and now she's going to be signing up in 3 days. Okay. And so I didn't, could I have got her on a 3-way call? Yes. Could I have gotten her on a Zoom? Yes. But it was in my conversation where I didn't just use copy and paste, but I added my own touch and added parts of my story into it. And that's where the story comes in. If you don't have a story, then you are sending the same thing that I could send, that Hope could send. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't use your story, then all 230 of you could send the same thing to the same person. And then what's the difference between them signing up with Sally or you? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alli, for walking us through that. That's awesome. Everyone who's asking her what the first question was and the rest of the combo.
Yeah, it's on the
or you can go watch her video in Legendary Diamonds.
Yeah.
There's multiple sources. Go back and rewatch.
And it's on my YouTube.
So yes. So this is the only point that I wanted to talk about in this initial conversation with your potential. If you come out of it not knowing what their why is, then you did not do your job. Potential distributor conversations are so much more about listening than talking. And I know that we explained your story is very, very important. You're doing it in your posts, you're doing it in your combos. But at the end of the day, if you are talking to a potential and you don't know why you're doing it, why they want to do this, why they reached out to you, why your posts speak to them, then you don't know anything about them. And so you can't find those points of when you do follow up with them and they give you an excuse and they tell you that they don't want to do this anymore, they're not interested anymore, you can say, really, are you sure? Because it sounded to me like you really needed $800 a month for your kids. Or, okay, I hear you, but you did tell me that $800 was going to help you pay off your car payment sooner and that was really important to you. So getting their why in your brain when you're talking to them in that first conversation is going to help them not get away. And I'm not saying that we need to track anyone down or convince anyone, but I think all of us, well, maybe not me because I literally jumped in like 3 days, but I think anybody who has taken a little bit of time to decide if this business is right for them, you get nervous. You get a little bit of cold feet. You get like, oh, I think I'm going to do it. Oh, God, what if it doesn't work out? Okay, I think I'm going to, oh, God. And we all have those potentials that do that to us, right? Like we all have those potentials that like they're going to sign up and then they ghost. And then a week later, they're going to sign up and they ghost. And it's like, that is why saying, girl, I know that you're nervous because you're not responding to me, but I know what this income is going to mean so that you can go take care of your grandma who's sick or whatever their why is.
Well, and that goes into too, like, and just going off of what I read, you guys, for the first year of my business, I was like so anxious to promote and go diamond. And you know what? Maybe me saying this, you're like, okay, and then you go and do it anyway because you have to learn on your own because that's how I was. But the truth of the matter is the first year of my business, for every 10 distributors I signed up, 9 quit. You want to know why? Because they signed up because I made it seem like, oh, this is so easy and this is no problem and you only need 5 minutes a day and it's fine and you can work it like a hobby. Just sign up so I can put you in a box and I can get to Diamond and I'll get all your loyal customers for you because I'm determined to go Diamond, but I don't really care about you. I just need my 400th box filled. And guess what happened? 9 out of 10 of them quit. And the truth is,
and they didn't understand.
Right.
They didn't understand what the business was,
or what they had to do consistently.
Yeah, you weren't being clear. You were just like, "Yes, it's great. It's $99. Are you ready to sign up?" It's like, no, because if you are convincing people to sign up, I'm gonna say this again like 7 more times. If you have to convince somebody to sign up, you will have to convince them to work, and then you've just wasted your time, their time, and their money. And that is not what you want to do. So, and I know it. When you just need one more distributor, you're like, you can just have my whole left arm.
Just sign up.
Give it to you if you'll join my team. Like, you can just have it. If I just need another box for Ruby, and it's like, no, dude. Like, keep your left arm, keep your dignity. Don't be desperate. The right people are going to come to you, but you can't rush it, guys. And I think that's just a huge aha moment for me when I decided I wanted to be a mass distributor enroller, was that it is not up to me when they sign up, right? Like, it's not, I don't get to decide like, okay, Sally's ready to join my team now. Like, no, I just get to be a friend and be a resource and be an opportunity. And when she's ready, she will take that leap. So that kind of just goes into like, just following up and continuing the conversation, finding the quote unquote pain points, AKA their why. They're tired of working long hours. They're tired of dropping their kids off at daycare. They're tired of their husband working, XYZ hours a week. They don't want to, I don't know, anything. That's their pain points. Whatever it is that is driving them towards the business is their pain point. And you just have to just dig deeper, guys, and don't be afraid to say, like, legitimately just be like, Vicky just came in here. Hi, Shrooms. He's eating my husband's grandma's 100-year-old rocking chair right now, so we're good. Pick your battles. At least it's not something living. Don't be afraid to say, when they say, like, Alli just gave a really, really good example the other day where the girl was like, you know what, I'm not interested, and Alli was literally just like, well, girl, like, you told me that you really needed this income so that you could go visit your family over Christmas break, and then that was really important to you. Do you still want to go see your family for Christmas? And just kind of having that, just like, dig a little deeper, guys. When they say, oh, never mind, I'm not interested, don't be like, oh, okay, like, bye, and like take them off your list. They're obviously going through something and they're obviously struggling. Don't worry, if they really don't want to talk to you anymore, they'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
So don't worry about that.
Like 4 of those today.
Don't worry about that. So so then I just want to talk, we've been talking a lot about 3-way calls. Jade's been talking a lot about 3-way calls. Hopefully y'all have been getting on 3-way calls. So I just want to really briefly like talk about doing them, because I will tell you right now that just using the script for my own potentials, not just, stop it, he's crazy. Using the script on my own potentials, not just on a 3-way call, but like reading the script myself. And come here, he's eating cardboard. Sorry guys, I knew this was going to be a mess as soon as he came in here. Just using the script for my own potentials, I am finding and signing people who want to work and they understand what this business is before they sign up, and it makes them it makes them feel more comfortable. They know me a little bit better. We've gotten on the phone. So just a few small tips about 3-way calls, and then I'll have Alli go. It doesn't have to be an upline. Don't feel like you got to go find some presidential ambassador diamond to do a 3-way call for you. And if you don't have a personal enroller, like, go into the page, like, go into Legendary Diamonds and post, like, who would be willing to do a 3-way call with me today? They're fantastic. So it doesn't have to be an upline. Don't call it a 3-way call when you're talking to your potentials. They will think that it's weird. Call it a chat.
Yeah, don't call it a 3-way call.
I would like you to meet or talk to a friend of mine in the business who I think you'll connect with. If you say, do you want to get on a 3-way with me and my friend in the business?
They're going to be like, what is this, 2007?
Yeah, they're going to be like,
middle school? Razor flip phone?
So Alli made like a good script when we first started talking about three-way calls. There's a few different ways to do it, but the easiest way to do it is to say, hey, so-and-so, I've been talking to my friend so-and-so about you because I think you're going to be so good at this business. Do you have 15 to 20 minutes sometime this week to get on the phone with us and meet her and have a conversation? So, and then this is my last tip. Please read the script because I know it seems silly. You feel like, I know what I'm doing. I know how to talk to potentials. The script is gold. The script is life. And also, the most important part of the script is that you, as the person who's bringing the potential onto the call, you're going to bring the person onto the call, you're going to introduce them, and then you're going to stop talking and you're going to let the other person completely lead the conversation. And I know it's hard because it's your own potential, but if they ask you something specifically, or if the person hosting the call asks you specifically, that's totally fine. You can answer, but in general, you don't want to have you don't want to bump heads. You don't want it to seem like you're trying to talk over the top of each other. It gets really awkward. So the script is in Legendary Diamonds. You can literally type in like three-way call script, I'm pretty sure. So.
Okay, so I'm I feel like I need like a bullhorn. Is that what they're called? I feel like a big microphone. So I'm talking to like all of my lifers. Like, hello? Not you guys that are like kind of like in and out. Like I'm talking to my lifers. As if you're here, this is like literally I'm talking to you right now. So I have this serious question, okay, you guys? And the other day I asked Hope and Chrissy and all of them. I asked them this question because I honestly am dying to know the answer. And I want to know it from my lifers, okay? If tomorrow you woke up and Facebook and Instagram was like, no more distributors. I don't want no mascara, no leggings, no weight loss products, no anything. If no candles. If Instagram and Facebook shut down network marketing from your phone, tell me how many of you that would still be here, first of all. And second of all, tell me really quick what you would be doing, because if you want to go diamond, you want to go double, you want to go triple, and you want to go ambassador, same way we all do, you wouldn't quit just because you couldn't use Insta, right? Like, you'd be probably setting up your first vendor event, and maybe you'd be, like, handing out more Blitz cards, and, like, oh, my gosh, did you ever think that, like, maybe you'd be getting people on phone calls? So, like, I'm not saying that would ever happen with social media, but all I'm saying for you guys is, why are you waiting for, why does it take that for y'all to get on a
Why do we have to kick you off of Facebook to make you go blitz somebody?
So in this, you guys, that's a huge aha moment. Really think about it. If you were determined to go ambassador, and social media shut down, how would you go ambassador? You would have to get out of your comfort zone, stop hiding from behind your phone, and blitz people, set up wrap parties, do vendor events, and get people on three-way calls, you guys. There's no reason for you to be afraid of a three-way call. There's no reason, especially because usually you don't even really have to talk. You just, like, introduce them. Okay, so with that being said, you guys, three-way calls, stop psyching yourself out, or stop, like, thinking that they're, like, this big, huge, like, scary thing. They're not. They're no different.
And it literally takes, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're on the phone for 2 hours trying to convince them to join. Like, you guys all need to get off of this and go read the script, and you will see and you will understand why these are working out so well for people, because the script literally leads them through giving them comfort if they're a little bit nervous, connecting them to their story, asking them about their why, going through how the business works, asking them if they have any questions. There's clarifying questions. If they say they don't have time, you say, how much time do you think you need to work a business like this? It's literally gold. Jade gave us gold.
Well, and the other thing is, so many of you guys are asking, like, when do you bring up three-way calls? And this is my personal opinion, and Hope may have an opinion, like, weigh in after. But I told my team, because there's a difference in potential distributors. There are people that, like, you talk to on Instagram for 5 seconds. They're like, oh yeah, that sounds good, but they don't hit you back up for 6 weeks, and then they're like, wait, what do you do again? And then they, like, didn't save your number. Please do not Like, if you want to do a call with them, if you want to call them and spend 15 minutes talking to them and then get them on a call with your upline, that's fine. But I'm not in the business, and none of us are in the business to waste time. So I've been telling my distributors that, like, these need to be people that are serious potentials, okay? Because I don't want you guys wasting your time all week long with 37 three-way calls, kind of getting tired or burnt out of three-way calls because you're talking to people that won't even text you back. The people that I'm getting on three-way calls with are the ones that answer me every time I follow up with them, or the ones that have reached out to me first, or the ones that I know have been watching for months, or the ones that I feel like, you know what, if I invest my time into them, I know that there's a 99% chance that it is going to come back. And that's not in a, like, I'm selfish and I don't want to, like, tell people my story type thing, because y'all know I love to talk. But my time is valuable. And if I'm going to be spending my time with some stranger from Instagram, it's going to be because I know that, that time spent with them is going to pay off and it's going to help them.
Absolutely. 100%. No, I completely agree. So I think that I'm really comfortable on the phone. I know Alli is the same way. So I will get my own potentials on the phone, like myself, and go through the script myself. So I actually haven't done I haven't done a three-way with
me neither.
Upline. I know that I need to. I know that it's something that I just need to, like, experience and do. But I've just been using the script myself, and it's been working really well. So anyways, my point being is that when I get to a point in a conversation, and it's different with every person, where they say, I don't know, I just need to think about it. That's when I say, I totally get that. Think about it. Can we get on the phone for 15 minutes tomorrow to see if this is a good fit for you? And using that language, y'all, to see if this is a good fit for you. It's no pressure to them. You aren't attached to the outcome. And you really are trying to see if this is a good fit for them, because guess what? If it's not a good fit for them,
you don't want them.
Sign them up. Like, do not let them spend $99 on this if they are not a good fit for this business. So you need to use this as a tool to sign up potential distributors that are on the fence, that are still thinking about it, that are a little nervous or skeptical, anything like that.
Also, one thing that I've been doing lately, and, like, I love it when people don't expect me to, like, what I say. And so this girl was, like, kind of giving me the runaround, but she'd been serious, but she, like, kind of gave me the runaround. And the last excuse that she gave me was like, well, my boyfriend, like, kind of thinks that it's, like, not a good idea to invest my money into stuff. And this is literally what I said. Can I get you and your boyfriend on a phone call? And you know what she said? Oh, well, I mean, and she started to cover up her excuse because she knew that I was, like, calling her out. And if it was her boyfriend, I would have gotten on a call with both of them, been like, excuse me, Kenny, do you
I did a call in October with a wife and husband.
Yes.
The husband was like, that sounds like a scam. And I was like, put your husband on the phone.
Yes.
And I went through the script with him and her both, and she signed up, and she's on my team now. So, like, you have to be willing to get a little uncomfortable for 15 minutes of your life, put yourself out there, and just allow yourself to share without being attached to the outcome at the end of the conversation. Obviously, the point is that you want them to sign up, but if you go through the entire script and you ask them on a scale of 1 to 10 if they want to do this, and they're a 2, you need to ask them if they want to be a customer, and you need to let it go. So, so my next, like, point, and I'm trying to keep this under an hour, just because I don't think anyone likes trainings that go much longer.
Well, and I know we have 15 minutes, but I have, like, 3 things that.
Okay, let me do this point.
No, you're good.
This is, like, my top tip for signing distributors, and then I'll let you go, and then we'll close it out. So, I'm doing all of these things. I'm making life posts, and I'm listening to people's why, and I'm using Alli's 3 questions, and I'm getting my potentials on 3-way calls, and I still cannot sign anybody up. First of all, check your mindset, because that was a terrible representation of how somebody should feel if they're doing all of these things. If you're doing all of those things, you should be proud of yourself, because you're putting yourself out there, and eventually somebody is going to bite. But what I want you guys to know, and I actually learned this from Ashley Sinclair, so I always give her the credit on this specific information. I just kind of expand on it a little bit more. There is 2 reasons why somebody is not joining your team, guys. At the end of the day, there's 2 reasons why somebody is not joining your team. The first reason is that you are not being transparent, caring, and showing the value in this business. You are not showing them what there is to be gained through your posts, through your messages, or you're not being caring enough. You have to care about these people. They cannot just be a name in a box. If they are a name in a box, you're doing something the wrong way, right? Our team is about friendship and family, I would even say. Like, we need to care about the people that are on our team or who are going to be on our team. Or you're not being transparent enough. This was something that happened to me 6 months ago. Somebody messaged me and they were talking about the business and they say, I'm just at such a low point in my life, yada, yada. And I kind of told her a little bit of my story and she goes, wow, really? I had no idea that you struggled. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. I'm not making enough life posts and I'm not being vulnerable enough in my life posts. So reason number 1 why somebody is not signing up, you're not being vulnerable, you're not being caring, you're not showing them the value. And reason number 2, guys, they're not ready. They don't have something going on in their lives that makes them need this. They don't have something going on in their life that makes them see the opportunity that you're presenting to them. They're doing just fine. They've been living paycheck to paycheck their whole life. But I guarantee you, if you stay consistent and you stay vulnerable and you keep caring about them, in 6 months, when their kid gets sick and goes to the hospital and they're swamped with hospital bills, they are going to remember that you said that they could make an extra $500 a month from their phone, and they will hit you back up. So if you're doing step 1, they will come around for step 2 when it is their time. So please remember those 2 things, guys. When it comes down to it, it's not about the money. It's not about the time. It's not about how many people they know. It's not about their mom's, cousins, sisters, aunt's best friend doing Mary Kay one time. It's about whether or not you are showing them the opportunity and they are ready to accept that opportunity into their lives.
Yeah. So good. Hope they're telling us, well, we don't have power hour. You guys, so for those of you that are on here right now, Jade is at Merck's Ranch right now. Like, how cool is, I'm like, I've been pumping myself up all day over that. So usually we schedule power hours for the month where all the diamonds and above claim a night. We haven't done that yet. I know that we have all weekend, but Jade's also away. So once she gets back, we'll get it all figured out. So yes, power hour should be starting in 15 minutes, you guys. I have some things that I want to touch on.
Do it.
Hope maybe has to chase her dog around, but she's gonna add in where she wants to add in, and we're gonna keep going. So one of the things that I want to talk about is how Jade, that story that I said about Jade hanging up her sheet in her living room. The reason that it stuck with me is, one, because it literally felt like someone was grabbing my heart and pulling it out of my chest, because the thought of a mom having to hang up a sheet in her living room to keep her child warm literally just makes my heart ache. So not only did that, but it was the repetition. It is how many times Jade says it, no matter if it's July and she's sweating in her bathing suit by the pool, she's talking about not being able to pay for her heat in the wintertime, okay? And it's the amount that she says it. You guys, I don't know where you got this idea that every single life post has to be like a novel written about a different time period of your life. I talk about my laundry detergent all the time. I talk about my dogs eating ramen all the time. I talk about my house being in foreclosure all the time. It is consistency, is that when they see that enough, you guys, and this leads into the second point that I was going to say, and I did a live about this on my own page, you guys have to understand that network marketing is becoming more popular because it's smart. Not because people are jumping on a bandwagon, not because people are trying to get rich quick. Network marketing is smart. And yes, our company has the best compensation plan. You know, our company, I could go on for days why our company is better than any other company. Y'all know that. But I'm not saying, like, I don't, you know, look down on people that do unique. I don't look down on people that sell oils. Like, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you're passionate about, you know, do it. But you have to understand that it's becoming more popular. And yes, there are more people on other people's timelines talking about making money from their cell phones. And it's not the money. It's not the I made $500 today in fast starts. Yeah, you know what? That's great, you guys. And there's going to come a point in all of your businesses where you can brag about making $500 in fast starts. There were months, like literally months, 3, 4, 5 months where I didn't earn one fast start. So because you see people, you know, maybe you follow the leaders on Instagram or on Facebook and you see us posting about $500 fast starts, don't think that we have it easier. We earned the right. That's really how I look at it. I earned the right to brag about $500 in fast starts because I worked my butt off and have been doing this for 2 years and have 2 years worth of leads. But what I want you guys to understand is that with network marketing becoming popular, what's going on is that it's becoming more prevalent on people's timelines. And I talked to an old friend the other day. She has zero interest in this business. I do not really talk about this business with her. You know, sometimes, I mean, she'll ask me, you know, how's your business doing? Like, whatever. And she said, Alli, I have a serious question. Can I ask you without you getting offended? And I was like, yeah, sure. You know, we grew up from the same hometown. I have had a lot of people from my hometown join my team, quit my team. She said, how come a majority of the girls from home that join your team end up quitting after 6 months? And so I explained it to her and I told her, you know, like some people just aren't self-disciplined. You know, this business isn't for everybody. But you have to understand that if my best friend can bring that up to me, there's probably 1,300 other people on your timeline that are seeing the same thing happen. People sign up and 3 weeks later quit. People sign up and 3 months later quit. People sign up and 6 months later quit. People sign up and quit three posts later. Do you know why it took me and Hope a year to become mass enrollers? Because for that year, we didn't shut up about what we were doing. And because we earned the trust of every single one of our Facebook. That's why I don't worry about competition. That's why, like, I would be super mad, one team, one mission, don't steal my potentials, because there'll be so many problems. But I'm not worried about competing with anybody on Jade's page. My followers are loyal to me. My followers are going to join me before they join someone that's been doing this for 3 months. So you need to, if you're in your third month, you need to go out right now and find those people that 7 months down the road, when you can say, I just went Diamond and I've been doing this for a year and I've done this and I've done that. Those are the people that are going to join. We're mass enrollers because it took us a year of earning people's trust. And you cannot come in and be in this business for 2 weeks and expect to enroll 10 loyal customers a month. If you do, you're a rock star. You're a magical unicorn. But a lot of people don't enroll 10 distributors a month. It just doesn't work like that. And so that's what you guys have to remember, is that every single time you go a day without posting, every single time that you thought about doing a live but you didn't, every single time that you wanted to share that story about the time that you slept in your car because your ex-boyfriend kicked you out of the house and you had nowhere else to live, but you don't want to share that story because his new girlfriend's probably going to see it, you're setting yourself back. I tell my team that every single day you go without posting, you just set yourself back 3 months. Every single time you miss one day. And I can tell you right now, between me and Hope and the 2 years we've been in this business, there's never been a day that we miss posting. There's never been a day that we miss messaging, no matter what was going on in our lives, whether our dog passed away or, I mean, it happened. My dog passed away and I signed 3 loyal customers that same day. I don't know. I'm not saying if your dog passes away that you can't more than one. I was sad. I'm not trying to say that, but it was because I'm so consistent and Hope is so consistent. That's why we mass enroll distributors. They would rather join our team because they know Alli's not quitting. Alli's been through some things in her life and she still hasn't given up this dang rap thing. Allie's been through, Hope did this and Hope's done that and Hope's going to school and Hope's doing this and she's still not giving up. And at that point, they're like, all right, dang, like I legit just need to join now because she's not going to give up. She's going to keep posting about this money thing. Like, I need to see. It's curiosity. But if people aren't curious about what you're doing, if you're not sparking their interest, why would they join you?
Well, and if they're just not, if you aren't taking it seriously, why would anybody take you seriously? It's like what Alli said at the very beginning. Like, if you are not taking your story, your passion, your purpose in this business seriously and sharing that, like, we're going to sign up your potentials, not in like a neener, I'm going to go to your page and steal your potentials kind of way, but just in a, like, if you are not a lifer, if you are not a dedicated, wants to be a diamond and above kind of distributor, it is going to be more difficult for you to sign teammates. It just is, because people follow vision. They follow inspiration. And if they see you posting about going ruby, about going diamond every single day. I posted about going diamond for a year, guys.
No, literally for 7 months I said I was going
diamond. 365 days between going emerald and finally promoting to diamond a year later. Every single month I was like, I'm going diamond this month. I make $2,000 a month, like blah, blah, blah. And obviously, like, I was still posting it month after month after month, but then I did it. And then I made a $10,000 bonus, and people were like, wait, how much of a bonus did you make? How much are you making a month now? Like, because I posted April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, boom, I did it in March. And I said I was going to do it. And I also fully believe one of the reasons that I did it is because I said I was going to do it for so many months. So,
well, and there's so many people on my team that are like I know, for example, one of my girls, Nadia, who I literally she watched me for months, and I followed up with her for months. And it was when I earned the $30,000 bonus and went double that she was literally like, she put it, like, used the last money on her credit card to sign up. And you guys, that will happen for you. The month that Hope can testify because she's done it too. The month that we went diamond, or, the day we went diamond, and the day that I went double diamond, the next day I opened my inbox and literally threw up from so many people that had messaged me and been like, all right, girl, like, I get it now. Like, I'm down. All right. If I have to earn $43,000 in bonuses for you to say, like, join me, I'm like, all right, like, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that you have to earn all this money or all these bonuses to enroll distributors. But when you say you're going to do something, even if it's for 7 months, and then you do it, you want to talk about why I don't have haters anymore. They shut up. What are they going to hate on? What do they have to hate on? Raps? Have you seen my results? Oh, you have to hate on what, my pyramid scheme? Have you seen my bank account? What are you going to hate? I mean, you just have to.
It's silly, so true, and I know it's. I've talked to my husband about this so many times because it's so backwards. It's like, wait, so you're telling me I have to be successful to get distributors, but to be successful, I have to get distributors, and it's a very like, whoa, like, wait a second, they're not going to be interested till I'm diamond, but I need 24 people before I can go diamond. What are you talking about? You will find people to come with you along the way, guys. And I can tell you right now that there are people on your social media in your life, and they are watching you, and you may not even know their names yet. You may not even be talking to them. They might not even have their number in your phone. But in the boom season, new year, new you, people who are your loyal customers this year will decide to join your business. People who you haven't even added yet, you'll add them. A week later, they'll message you. They'll sign up on your team. Like, literally, you just have to have this 100% unshakable faith that the right people are coming into your business. Like, legitimately, you need to just have a sit down with yourself to like, get over yourself. Get ready to be vulnerable. Get ready to be a mass enroller. And then you need to just, like, pray, meditate, like, whatever floats your spiritual boat. Like, you need to get set on the fact that you are going to sign distributors, and they are going to be dedicated, and they will help you get to the next level. But until you believe that, like, you have to do that. And
it's first. Okay, you guys. I'll be honest with you, because you guys know me, like, I ain't got no shame in my game. I had a mental breakdown the other day where I was literally like throwing my shoes across the room. Like Matt walked in and he was like, I was sobbing. I couldn't breathe. He was like, what is the matter? And I'm like, I feel like I'm getting nowhere. Shame on me partly because Matt went Emerald last month and I signed 7 distributors. And so I'm throwing this party saying that I feel like I'm getting nowhere when I'm getting somewhere. But you guys know what I mean? Like, I'm so ready for triple that I'm like, that's all. It's almost like all I can focus on. And so what I want you guys to know is that there's going to come a time, and this is what I said to Matt, and I want you guys to hear me loud and clear. There's going to come a time where you've been ambassador for 10 years. There's going to come a day when you're celebrating your 10th anniversary as an ambassador Diamond, and you are going to look back and literally laugh over the times that you cried, over the times that you threw your shoe at your chart that's hanging up on the wall because you're just so upset. There are going to be times where it's going to happen for all of us, you guys. And I'm telling you right now, if I could sit down with every single one of you in a coffee shop and just look you in the face and tell you, like, you have no clue, like, just stay faithful. Just keep planting seeds. Just keep asking people. Right now, you guys, if I could show you my inbox right now, if Hope could show you her inbox right now from Follow Up Friday, you're not the only one. I sent it to my team and all of them were like, wait a minute, you get no's too. Like, yeah, I could literally.
So I will legitimately tell you guys the numbers right now. I have 140 potential distributors in my phone, just in my phone, not on my Facebook, not on my Instagram. I followed up today and I gotta find them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
7 responses, and 3 of them were literally telling me, don't text me anymore.
Yep.
So I got 7 responses, 3 people who told me to screw off. 4 of them were people who were like, next paycheck, or I'm just not ready yet, or oh my gosh, it's just so hard with the holidays. So like out of 140, I got 7 responses, and 3 of them are people that I just took off my list today. So.
But I know, like, I have this feeling in my gut, like, I know with unwavering faith, there's not one day or 1 second or 1 minute that goes by, well, maybe like 5 minutes while I'm having like a mental breakdown, but I know that all of these people are going to sign up because I've been through a boom season. So it is easier for me to like ease my mind and know what's about to happen. So Hope, really quick before we get off this, we know that some of these girls are about to go from like executive to double diamond and or distributor to diamond or whatever. You know, we know that crazy things happen. I went from executive to emerald in a matter of 2 months. And it was probably one of the most overwhelming things, even though it was exciting and I was pumped up because I was emerald and my paycheck was emerald. All of a sudden I had a team that I was the leader of, a team that I was accountable for, a team that I had to ask them their goals every single day. And when they had a question at 2:00 in the morning and I heard my phone go off, like, yeah, I could have ignored it, but like, I'm one of those people that's like, if you need me, I'm there. And sometimes that's not very good because I stress myself out. But what I'm saying is, you guys, I think they understand the whole life post thing. I think they understand the story thing. I think they understand what we're saying and they loved it. But I think we also, really quick, I have 3 things I want to talk about as far as being a leader. Okay. And so what I want you guys to understand is I see you guys say it all the time. I'm not trying to classify, you guys, but I see it on Legendary Diamonds all the time. I'm just afraid to be a leader. Well, how are you going to go Ambassador Diamond? Like sometimes you have to get sometimes you have to figure, if you want to go, there's no Ambassador Diamond who isn't a leader. There's no Ambassador Diamond that doesn't hold Zooms, that doesn't show up to one team, one missions, that doesn't wear their gear, that doesn't, go to conference, that doesn't do these things. And so I want to just kind of touch on the fact, you guys, is that it's okay to be nervous to be a leader. I understand that because even though for as outgoing and crazy as I am, when I started having people sign up with me, all of a sudden I started getting super anxious because I was like, oh my gosh, their whole entire life depends on me. And I know that's not the case. And I now know that their business depends on them. But it was like, Am I texting them enough? Am I not texting them enough? Am I sending them enough information? Am I not sending them enough information? Why aren't they calling me back? Why did she cancel 2 hours after signing up? Like, it was this overload of emotions when I became a leader. And if you have one person on your team, you're a leader. But when you get up to 10 plus people working on your team, you start to, especially if you haven't had that before, it gets a little crazy. So you're going to have to be a leader sooner rather than later. And I can tell y'all right now, and Hope has been through it too. A lot of us Diamond and Aboves can attest to it. So, and we've talked about it many times on Jade's Diamond and Above Zooms, is that when I went from executive to Emerald, my ego went up like my paycheck did. And all of a sudden I was like, I'd be making $800. I was like, listen, you can't touch me. I'm an Emerald now. All right. Guess what happened? My whole entire team quit. They're like, oh, we're not. I went through a mean leader phase when I thought that because I went Emeralds, that everybody else should have gone Emeralds and everybody else should be staying up till 3 o'clock.
I will also note here that the best part about being an angry leader is you're not doing your ish either.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so true.
You're not. You're like, why isn't anybody doing life posts? Why isn't anybody enrolling customers? Meanwhile, here I am, haven't made a live post in 3 days and haven't signed a customer in 2 weeks, but like I'm being salty because my team's not doing it. So like you cannot, I'm sure Alli will say something about this, but you cannot ever expect the people under you to do things that you are not doing. If you are not sending 100 messages a day, you cannot ask your team to send 100 messages a day. Like,
that is my number one rule. And I tell anybody, whether you've been in this business for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 years, and you sign your first distributor, that is the first thing that I tell my team. Don't you, and this is exactly how I say it because I'm this serious about it, don't you dare tell someone underneath you to do something that you are not doing 6 out of 7 days a week. If you want your team to go live once a week, you better be going live once a week, every single week without missing it. If you expect your downline to enroll 4 loyal customers, you better be enrolling 8 loyal customers, you guys. And so this is something I wanted to talk about because it was an aha moment that someone else said on a different Zoom, and it really stuck with me. And you guys have to realize, like, okay, if you could look at where you are right now in your business on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say, for me, I'd say I'm a 9. Are there some moments where I could work a little bit harder? Yes. Could I stay up a little bit later? Yep. Could I get up a little bit earlier? Yeah. I would say I'm a 9 right now. I could say I'm killing it, but like there are some things that I could probably do better in.
I'm going to give myself like an 8. Like if we're going off of this scale, like there are definitely days where I could send more messages. There are definitely days where I could like not go to sleep. California is awkward because it's like earlier here, but there's definitely days where I go to bed at like 11 and it's like, wow, like I could stay up way later.
Well, and so if this is so true, and you guys, for someone that has enrolled or seen 500 plus people come through her team and come through her downline, you guys, if you are a 6, you're never going to enroll more than a 3 or a 4. You're not. So if you want to enroll someone that gives their business 50%, you need to be performing at like a 70%. If you want to enroll someone that gives this business 70 to 80% every single day, then you need to be doing 90 to 100% every single day. That is how it works. I've seen it time and time again. I've seen so many people, build this team, and then they're like, oh my gosh, yes, my team, like I'm just going to get such a big paycheck, and all of a sudden they disappear. Their team disappears. You guys, I have whole legs of people that I thought were going to be ambassador diamonds, but their upline gave up and their leader gave up. And there's like one kicking around out of a team of like 34 people that this girl had underneath her. Yep. It just, that's how it is. And so that's what I want you guys to understand going into this boom season is, 1, check yourself before you wreck yourself. There's always someone doing more than you are. So just because you go Emeralds from a distributor, celebrate for like a day, pop some champagne, and then humble yourself and start working like you were a distributor. That's one of I think the biggest things that me and Hope can tell you as leaders is that we work every single day like we're distributors, like we're working to put food on our table. Okay, so that's the first thing. Well, that was the second thing. The third thing you guys have to understand, I want to talk about numbers, okay? Because, okay, so you're killing it. You're enrolling people. You've got tons of leads. You're not waiting around. Y'all saw that video I did in Legendary Diamonds where I talked about please don't wait until March to start enrolling teammates, because it's very hard for someone to go diamond in 30 days, even if you place all the distributors underneath them. Like, you don't want to build someone who just signed up to diamond. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather see someone who's fighting for Ruby this month or fighting for Ruby next month to go diamond in boom season than someone I signed up 24 minutes ago. Because the person that's been fighting for Ruby or fighting for executive, or, you know, they're going to be the ones that understand what being a diamond is, understand what being a leader with a team like that is. And so right now is when you guys want to be enrolling a lot of people so that they're set up, so they have time to gather their nuts, so that they have time to plant some seeds, okay? Because the people signing up in March are, you know, you're going to find that there are going to be some rock stars who go Ruby in 30 days. I mean, it's going to happen. But I know a lot of people that come into my team don't have a big warm market. They didn't work at a hair salon where they know the whole town and the town's population.
They're like me. They have 36 followers on Instagram.
Right.
A town population 4,000. Like,
so what do you guys
have a pool to pull out of?
And this is a Jocelyn Yates analogy, which is so good, or she did it on YouTube. But you have to think about signing distributors as a deck of cards, okay? And so in order to go ambassador, you guys, did you know this? In order to go ambassador, you only need 5 people on your top line. You only need 5 people on your top line to go ambassador diamond. So with that being said, so let's say you have a deck of cards, and every time that you sign a distributor, you pull up a card. There are going to be a lot of people that give this business a 3 or a 4. There's going to be a lot of people that give this business a 3 or a 4. There's going to be a few people that give this business a 6 or a 7. There's going to be even fewer people that give this business an 8 or a 9. And there's going to be 5 people that are your jacks and your queens and your kings and your aces, the ones that are lifers, the ones that are going to go ambassador, the ones that are going to blitz when they're afraid, the ones that are going to show up to every Zoom, you guys. So when you start enrolling these people during this boom season, understand that not every single one of them is going to go ambassador diamond. To be completely honest, you guys, for every 10 distributors I sign up, 6 of them quit before their first month is over. But all that means to me is I just need to enroll more people. I'm not going to sit and try to take someone who's a 1 or a 2 or a 3 and expect them to perform like a 9. I'm not going to disown them. I'm not going to cut them off and block their number. I'm just going to continue helping them while realizing that, okay, you know what? This person's just not in a point in their life where they're going to run 110% towards diamond, and that's okay. You're going to find people that really only want $100 or really don't care enough about making an extra income where, like, they're happy with a $200 paycheck. There's nothing wrong with that. So if I can save you guys from the heartbreak that so many of us have been through, and every single person on here, you know, that's been doing this for a long amount of, like, a longer period of time can vouch, you are going to feel like when someone quits, the first thing you're going to do is, what did I do wrong? And you know what? If you feel like people are quitting and maybe it is something you're doing, chances are your upline will reach out to you and be like, listen, you know, maybe you shouldn't have said something like that in your chat, which has happened to me before. Okay.
Legit though, like, I completely agree with that, but like there is nothing that you can do that you can't come back from. Yep. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, so don't feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna make people quit. Like, you might, but that doesn't mean you can't be a diamond, or you can't be a double diamond, or you can't be in it. Like, who knows?
My whole team quit.
Stuff. I was gonna say, who knows the kind of rude stuff Jade said when she was like a diamond and a double diamond.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen,
so, like,
there have been times where Jade has come to me and been like, homegirl, you need to slow your roll. Time where my triple diamond up on Tina has come to me and been like, listen, Alli, I love you, but you should not talk to your team like that. Guess what? My whole team quit. It's horrible. I thought I was dying. But guess what? I didn't give up. And I was like, all right, well, lesson learned. Next time I won't do that. So I'm not saying that you guys are going to do that. But what I'm saying is that that a lot is about to happen. And I know there are some people on here that are new. And before we get off, I want to explain to you guys, and I did this analogy last year, and I think it's really good. But if you're new and you've never been through a boom season, if you guys have ever seen the movie Finding Nemo, when they're on their way to Australia and Nemo gets on the turtle's back and all of a sudden, like, the water's rushing back, like, past him, and he's like, totally, dude. Like, and he's just like, they're just riding along. That is boom season. That is boom season. You feel like you're Nemo on the back of a turtle and everything's going by so fast and you're just like.
But all of the diamonds and above and the ambassadors are the turtles going, right, Jen?
Yeah, keep going. Keep enrolling.
What is going on?
Yes.
You have to just hold on for dear life, have a great time, like, enjoy every second of it, and remember that this business is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So even if this boom season goes by and you're like, God, it just wasn't what I wanted it to be, you get another one in 2019 and another one in 2020 and another one in 2021. So you don't need to, like, put all of your eggs in this basket of, like, 2018 has to be the best season ever. Like, if you really want to be a diamond and above, like, if that's really what you want, and I've said this multiple times to people on my team and just in general, like, if being diamond is what you want, if being ambassador diamond is what you want, don't put a time limit. Don't say, well, if I'm not diamond in 2 years, I'm gonna quit. If that is what you really want, it does not matter how long it takes for you to get there. It could take you 5 years to go diamond, but you would still be stoked because that's your dream, and that's your heart, and that's what you want to do.
January, I was looking it up because I was like honestly curious about what my enrollments were, you guys. January of this year, 2017, you guys know how we've been saying, like, boom season is January really through April, March, April-ish. January was my lowest number of enrollments I'd ever done. I literally probably signed 2 customers, and I didn't sign any distributors. I think 3 customers. And everyone's like, boom season, yeah, gnarly, dude.
And, like,
and I was like,
staring blankly.
oh my gosh. I think I'm failing. I'm so bad at this. 2-3 loyal customers. February rolled around the next month, and actually Carly shared this on Jade's call when she did it, and this is why I thought about it. January, I signed 2 customers. February, I signed 25 customers. March, I signed 36 customers and earned a $30,000 bonus and went double diamond. So do not, if January 1st, potentials don't start falling from the sky, don't freak out, okay? Because January, people are, like, kind of paying off credit cards that they racked up during Christmas time. But January is when you're going to start feeling that momentum of, like, yes, okay, like, people are actually, you mentioned the word New Year's resolution, and it's like a drug. Like, it's like people are like, New Year's resolution, where you have a product that can make me lose weight. And I'm not saying that, like, in a bad way, but it's true. Yeah. And those are the people that turn into your your loyal customers, but you can have good conversations with them because they're honestly interested in losing weight. You're not trying to, like,
and that, like, I think when we say boom season, like, people think that, like, actual, like, magical stuff goes on, and it does, but also you're still going to talk to people in January. They won't sign up till next boom season. You're going to talk to people in March. They won't sign up till next boom season. So we are by no means saying, like, just work your butt off and then ride the wave and then you'll be triple diamond. Like, you still are doing the entire boom season. You are still doing the legwork. You're just seeing crazy enrollments at the same time. So by no means think that we're saying, like, just work really hard for the next 4 weeks and then you'll promote. Like, I have never worked harder than March 2017 when I went diamond. Like, you will still be busting your butt. You're just using the momentum to get you all the way there, right? Like, if I was trying to go double diamond this month and come up with 8,000 volume, it would be so much more difficult than just waiting for the upswing of the boom season to get the rest of that volume. So I'm gonna